Hello friends, hope you're doing well. I am doing a different type of video today. I'm not posting any of my crafts as far as my journals and cards and things like that. It's been weighing heavy on my heart to want to do this ever since I've seen the videos of how to create a prayer Bible. Now, there's so many videos out there and it's overwhelming to see how much people actually put into their prayer Bible, the pictures and this and that and the other, the thought, lots and lots of tabs throughout. That's a little bit much for me, and that's just what works for me. The beauty of this is there is no wrong or right way of doing it. It's what suits you. The reason that I'm doing this is because I find myself praying the same prayers day in and day out, some that I've recited from childhood, and I know there's more to praying than the way that I've been doing it. And it's not to say that it's wrong, but when your eyes are opened and your heart is open to something like this, that I know will absolutely change my prayer life. And I want to be a stronger woman in prayer for not just my family, but for friends and everything in general. I couldn't recite Bible verses to save my life at this point. I couldn't tell you which verses for this and which verses for that. I just want to become a better prayer warrior. And so when I saw this method, I thought, I'm going to give this a try. Now, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You don't have to make it look like everybody else's. Again, you do with what you have. You don't have to get a new Bible. I just happened to find this one. This is a pocket size Bible, and it was on sale when I got it for $8 on Amazon. This is what it looks like, and you just have to put pocket size Bibles, and if they still have them available at that price. It wasn't even $9. It was $8 something to purchase this Bible. The tabs I did purchase. I am color-coded kind of person. That's just how my brain functions. Again, you don't have to do it that way. I bought these also on Amazon, and these were 40 of them for, I think it was like $6, but I found something else that was less expensive that you can use. And instead of washi tape, because I don't have washi tape, I had ribbon in my stash, and so I just adhered it this in place of washi tape, and it matched, and I've never used the ribbon, so that's what I'm using. Again, this is just me. You do what works best for you. I like my tabs to be in order, color order, and to look in unison. It's just me. That's just how my brain functions, and it's okay if you're not like this. You don't have to be this color coordinated if you don't want to. You can use whatever. If you don't have tabs, you can use sticky notes, cut them in half and use that. There's plenty of these at the Dollar Tree that you can get different color tabs. The one thing that I will say that's helped me, and from what I've learned, I'm still not done. This is still a work in progress, but I wanted to show you what I had. The tabs, I do have them in such a way that all the pink ones are favor. All my purple ones are daily prayer. The blue ones are for protection. And the green ones I have are for salvation. Now, you can choose to put a color of each tab on your Bible somewhere and write what it is so you're not fumbling through it if that's something you want to do. But this way it helps me to memorize things. So I just left them here. These are things that I feel I need to pray more about and learn more about and help me with Bible verses. And so keeping it organized like this helps me. Now, what I used to write on my tabs was this Micron pen, 05. I had this in my stash again because I am a crafter, a paper crafter. I have a lot of these pens. So this is what I used on this. The beauty about these is that you can peel them off and put them on if you reposition them, if you made a mistake. They're so easy to work with, and that's why I like these. I'll show you the other things that I purchased so that you can see that it doesn't take a lot. And if you notice, there's only a verse or two that I've highlighted. I have a different Bible that I study from. This is just specifically for prayers. So I can pray these verses and that's it. and I didn't know which verses were per each tab. So I simply went on my Bible app, or you can go on Google and type in prayers for favor, and you'll get a whole list of prayers. And I just wrote them down on a piece of paper, just like the real basics, like Psalm 66:19. And then I'll go back and read it when I start making my tabs. So you can make I had this list here, nothing fancy, just a piece of scrap paper that I had, and wrote down the tabs that I wanted. And this was just when I was starting. I didn't have them in any specific order, but I just started writing down attributes, salvation, daily prayer, protection, and then the list was just growing from there. So I will obviously have other tabs for these other ones, which I was waiting for them to come in, and they came in today, and that's what I'm going to do. For my favorite verses, I used my ribbon. You can use washi tape for this. I don't have washi tape, so I used the ribbon that I had, and I adhered it to the page. I didn't use glue. I had double-sided tape from scrapbooking that I use. If you use the washi tape, it's better. They have washi tape that's lacy. I didn't even know that, so it was nice to be able to use what I had. The tabs, you can make what you want. They don't have to be this color, but I do recommend that you use the amount of tabs that you have for the specific theme, so that way they're all the same, if that's something you want to do, so that the tab matches the highlight. Because sometimes, there was one I saw earlier, there's 2 tabs in 2 different colors for 2 different types of prayer. One was for daily prayer and one was for protection. So as you can see, the color of the pen and the highlighter and the tab go together. That's my only thing. Some have put pictures of their family and what they're praying for. This is what works for me, and this is what I want to focus on right now, because I'm always praying for my family. I'm always praying for family, friends, and etc. But again, find what works for you, and there is no right or wrong way to do it. This is coming from somebody who went to private school, Catholic school, for 8 years of my life. I'm now almost 57. And, they didn't teach us how to read the Bible in private school. They worked on little catechism books, and the only time we ever opened up a Bible was when the class got in trouble. And that, I didn't understand why until in my adult life. And we all go through a journey that I discovered exactly how to begin to read the Bible, and the understanding and the meaning and the different way of praying. And that's why in the beginning I mentioned that I would recite prayers from memory. Is the only prayers that I knew how to pray were the ones that I learned in school. And so prayer is very different life for me now than it was, but I want to be better at it. And I've noticed that when I work on my relationship with God more than anything else, things just fall into place. It's a beautiful thing. And it's taken some time for me to get to where I am at this point in my life and to be at peace. And I want to continue to protect that peace. And so I thought, what better way than to learn the Bible and study the Bible through prayer. And so what I use to highlight my verses, I had these markers already from before, and I found these Bible highlighters at a Barnes & Noble a couple years ago. I'm sure they probably have them. I recommend that you don't use regular highlighters if at all possible, because they will bleed through the page. The beauty of these is that they don't. See, they don't go through. And so that's why I like these. But again, there's different ones. Just make sure that they're Bible highlighters, not just regular highlighters. The tabs that I found that I got today, these are also on Amazon. There are 480 of them for $8.99. So they're different colors, and I can use them for other tabs that I want to create. So I'm not going to necessarily use all of these because I don't want to make my Bible just, again, it's just me. It's total preference. But I can choose the colors that I want that'll coordinate with the tabs I already have. And these sets of tabs were 24 of them, and I only got these for $3.62. There was a sale going on when I looked online when I was looking for more tabs because I wanted more of these, but they only had them in these 4 colors. They didn't have a variety of other colors. They did have some that were sparkly, that were glittery, and I'm not a glittery kind of person, so I opted out. But these for $3.24, you know, these could be specific tabs. Maybe you want to have a tab for your son or for your daughter or for whoever. These are more specific tabs, or however you want to use them. These are just ideas that I wanted to share because I know it could be overwhelming. There's so many videos out there, and you know, you do what you need to do to help you get into the Word and help you get closer to God in ways that you can't even begin to imagine. So I'm like you. If you're starting out, this is the first time I'm creating a prayer Bible. Didn't even know it was a thing, but I'm so grateful to those ladies on YouTube. There's a lot of them. Just type in prayer Bibles and you'll see the plethora of information out there. They go from super fancy to not so fancy to simple and basic, which is my version of the videos. And so I'll keep you posted, but this is what I have right now. And I love the fact that this pocket one, you can put it in your purse and your backpack and take it with you. I just want to be a better prayer person, you know, and be okay with learning. And it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. You know, I wish I would have known about this years ago, but maybe I just wasn't ready for it back then, you know, if that makes sense. So this is my way of sharing with you and hoping that giving you another way, another option of doing things. And you don't have to label every single label. I just did the first one that was available, or the first tab in that color, and that's all I labeled. So I'll remember from that point on. As soon as you start doing it with frequency, you'll memorize your color tabs. But like I said, if you don't, just put a tab here and then write what the tab is for each one until you get used to what you have, unless it's like bombarded with tabs and you'll really need to know what it is. But I just might like mine to look clean. That's just me. And being my first one, I just want to take baby steps and make sure that I'm learning, not just decorating a Bible and make it look a certain way and then put it away. No, that's not the purpose that I want for this Bible. I want to read it and be able to recite verses for specific areas in my life and for others in their life, and just want to be I want to be better at being like God, you know, and just do his will and through discipleship and through serving. And so I hope this works for you. I'm excited for you on this walk with God, on this journey, and I'll keep you posted, and I'll post another video at some point when I'm done doing the tabs that I want. And I hope that you've learned a little something and that you implement some of it, and I hope that it works for you like it's working for me right now. Thank you guys. Be blessed. Until next time.